All right.
Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
What's up, y'all?
Hey.
What's up? DB Devs in the house. This is your man Mo. I'm here with your man Mel. Get him off, Mel.
Hey, welcome to another edition of DBDS Live. We have a dynamic show for you today, but before we get started, I just want to say prayers and condolences goes out to Kobe Bryant and his family. And, it's a pretty sad day, but in his memory, we're going to keep the show going.
No doubt. In fact, we about to let's just do a quick moment of silence. I'm gonna flash a post up here. Let's just do a quick moment of silence for man Kobe. There it is, man. All right, so we're gonna continue with the show. As Mel said, condolences, to him and his family, man. Hope they can pull through this. I know it's gonna be tough for them. But we're going to keep this going. Today, we're going to be talking about, we got a crazy show, man. We got a dynamic show today. First, I'm going to get this back to Mel Money. Let everybody know what DBDS is all about, man.
Yeah, so before we get started, I'm just going to tell you what the DBDS mission statement is all about. We promote thoughtful relationship topics on social media and our live show and other outlets to help people to become a better version of themselves. We want people to embrace loyalty, love, and respect. And for the sake of it, just to change how you are, but don't change who you are. And a better version of yourself creates healthier relationships. Healthier relationships create healthier families, and healthier families create healthier communities. So let's get it going.
Boom. All right. Look, here's the deal. We got a crazy dynamic show today. Oh, yes. We're going to be talking about things people do to ruin a relationship. Now, let me just set something straight before we get started here. If you're not in a relationship, this show is still especially for you, because here's the thing. Don't wait until you get in a relationship to figure out the tools and what you need to use in order to sustain it. Get it now. You know what I'm saying? So it's still for you. Even though you're not in a relationship, you should learn what we're going to go through, get these insights, and it will help you sustain your relationship in the long run. Now, we got some serious, dynamic, amazing guests on the show today for you. We're going to start bringing them in the studio. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to bring in my girl Danielle out of Florida. Welcome to the show, Danielle.
Hey. Hello. How are you?
We're good. We're glad to have you here on the show with us.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Danielle Forbes. So I am an author, speaker, talk show host, and now SAG actress. And so that's what I do. Those are just a few of the hats that I wear, but I'm so happy to be here with you guys sharing my perspective on my favorite topic, relationships.
Thank you. We're so glad to have you here. All right. Now we're going to bring in a guest who's been here before. Probably don't need an announcement, but I'm going to do it anyway. My girl AP. What's up, AP?
Hey, everybody. What's going on?
Hey.
How's everybody out there?
We good. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, AP.
Well, I'm a mom of 5. I'm a survivor of abuse of 18 years, and abuse doesn't identify who I am today. It actually helps me be a better person for today and tomorrow and for other people. And I'm just super mom, and I was a minister for 18 years and a pastor, and I've left that life alone, but I still help people along the way. So I'm an advocate for domestic violence and abuse, as well as just a life coach to many other people.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Glad to have you on the show. Welcome, and in case I didn't say it, because this Kobe thing got me a little bit shook, in case I didn't say it, Danielle's out of Florida and AP is out of Pennsylvania, in case I didn't mention that. Okay. And the last guest we bringing in the studio right now, my man Chance, coming out of Georgia. What's up, Chance?
Hey, how's everybody doing this afternoon?
We good, man.
All right.
All right, tell the people a little bit about yourself, Chance.
Well, there's not really much to be said. I'm a director of security at a business that I work at. I also am a real estate agent in state of Georgia as well as Massachusetts, and I'm just glad and grateful that you gentlemen allowed to use me as a vessel to, be able to speak on this platform. So I'm here and I'm appreciative. Thank you.
Boom, there it is. I told y'all we got the crazy show. We got the people all lined up. Listen, let's jump right into this. Mel Money, kick us off, man.
Absolutely. So listen, we have a section on our Facebook page, DBDS group page, called the Anonymous section, where people come in and discuss their issues, and they want help people to elevate their status and help them out. So the story reads, "Hello, DBDS family. I've been married for about 2 years, and we have had our rough moments and our great moments. Arguments for a while were a normal thing, and then we fixed things and made them better. These past 2 months, I noticed that I should be trying harder, and I have. I've done the little things to make her happy and to keep our relationship fresh and new. But 3 days ago, I noticed a different vibe. I felt like something was different, so I confronted her and asked her, is there anything bothering you? She tells me that she is confused with me and another guy she met at work. She says she is confused because she wants to be with me, but also want to try something new. I told her, if you're having thoughts about being with someone, I feel as though I already lost you. It hurts because I was trying really hard to keep her happy and change my habits throughout the marriage. Anyways, that night we spoke like adults, and I tried my best not to cry, but I did, and I got on my knees and begged her to stop seeing this guy. In a way, we said it was over, but it was up to her. The next day I get back from work around 11, and she's usually home by 10. She wasn't home. She was with the guy she wanted to be with. I was even more hurt now and began to cry. She came home and I asked, where were you? She was honest with me, and she tells me they only talk, but then they kiss. Now she is saying she wants to be with me. I feel so confused and so lost. She says she wants to be with me, but the other night she was with this other guy. What can I do to turn my relationship around? P.S. I did cheat at the beginning of our relationship before we were married. We worked through it, but now she uses that as an excuse for what she is doing now, even though it isn't the first time she has done something similar."
Ooh-wee.
Wow. There's a lot going on there.
Man, oh man.
So listen, we gotta, y'all. I need to use y'all, my experts here, to help decode this situation. I'm coming to you, AP. Help us figure out what's going on there. Give me your insights on this situation for our anonymous poster.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I've been in that predicament, but not in a dedicated relationship, but cross between people that I feel like I like one part of them, but then the other side of them I don't like. But then I find another person that has a quality trait the other one doesn't have, and I'm kind of like tossing to and fro. Although I'm not in a committed relationship, it's still not fair to one or the other. So the best thing for the person to do is just take a step back, fall back, let the lady do what she's going to do, because the more you accept that behavior and keep giving them opportunities to come back, you're going to allow them to do it over and over and over again to you, because you're giving them permission slips to continue on in that type of cycle. Not good.
Not good at all. Danielle, you got some insight on this situation?
Oh, yeah. I got some major insight. So I'm listening to this and I'm like, wow, this is deep. And in my mind, I'm thinking, my question is, how did it get to this point? And you hit I was waiting for it. I'm like, so my first question was going to be, before you said it, how did it get this bad? When he said that he did cheat in the beginning of the relationship, that was the aha moment for me. Because as a woman, women, we really value our relationships for the most part. We're not perfect, but it's hard enough to find a man, a really good man. And when you find that, as women, we work very hard to keep that relationship going. And I'm sure, the lady can attest to that.
Right.
But once that man has stepped out on us, even though what a lot of men don't know is once he steps out on us, 9 times out of 10, we will take that man back and give him another chance. but we've never forgotten and will never forget about that first infidelity. And in our mind, we've lost a bit of respect for that man. And a lot of men think that when women let a man back in after cheating, that woman is weak, but we're just still giving you a little more rope to hang yourself. And then when we're done, we're done. But in the back of our mind is still that first infidelity. And we're like, well, now, if he did it, I can do it. So it might be a little, it might be the case of giving him a little taste of his own medicine to let him know how she felt. So that's a very sticky situation.
Chance, my man, help me shine some insight on this, man. Help me.
Man, I'm so glad you brought me in here, because right now I'm about to play devil's advocate, because even though I hear what my sister Danielle is saying, now correct me if I'm saying anything wrong, but before they got married, he cheated, or was it during their marriage?
Before they got married.
Okay, so I'm not even buying that well, he did it, because they got past that. So for her to backstep, she's looking for excuses for her actions. Because there's no longer, you don't backpedal, you don't be in a relationship with someone that's just a relationship, and then all of a sudden marry them, and then have the nerve or audacity to say, well, remember back before we got married,
come on,
I did this. So now to justify your actions, I'm calling out BS. But anyway, outside of that, this woman, you know what? She was just a player in disguise herself.
That's right.
Because for her to go that route, once again, after something as serious as marriage,
exactly,
you've given yourself to this person. Them games are supposed to be done with. You accepted what happened in the past, and to bring it up in the present as an excuse to justify your lame actions, I'm not buying it.
Now, Money, you got some knowledge you want to drop on this?
Man, I appreciate all the insight the panel has said, but first off, this relationship was already built on a weak foundation.
That's right.
And even though this brother mentioned that they worked through their issues, she truly never forgave him. And when there's a one-time incident due to a lack of respect and understanding that person, as Chance said, decides to take him back, then she should have followed the triple F formula. And the first F that stands in that formula stands for focused conversation. So that way both individuals can discuss more than just a simple change or a quick adjustment to the mishap that happened at the beginning of the relationship. And then the second F stands for forgive, which means stop feeling angry or resentment towards that person. And then finally, the last F, as Chance clearly stated, move forward. But clearly she did not honor that concept, and now she is using it as a way to test the field and to keep him on the back burner, knowing that there's emotional ties involved. And it's the same thing like my partner Moby saying, he's just a safety net. And this brother is just too focused on making her happy and not realizing that he's not happy within himself. So he's trading his self-respect for her approval. And sadly, the snowball, which was already pushed down the hill, became an avalanche. And, keep in mind that he already communicated to her to how he feels, but the relationship is already imbalanced. She's being selfish, and right now he's selfless. And right now this is creating self-hate because the brother really don't love himself. And the last thing I just want to mention, that marriages do go through storms.
Yes, they
but
do.
It all depends on what kind of storms you're willing to go through. So I think he should reevaluate his relationship and do it pronto.
Look,
good luck, my friend.
Yeah, definitely good luck. Now, here's the thing. I want to mention a few things. So I just want to first start off with Mel said, marriages go through storms. So what you need to do is get you a nice Gore-Tex jacket. Make sure you got a nice Gore-Tex hat. You know what I'm saying? You got gloves, mittens. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got a cave that you can go hide into.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you need to do that, man. This is what happens.
For real.
So check this out. This was our opener, y'all, and this is a good segue into things people do to ruin a relationship. What we just heard was cheating. Don't cheat. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Listen, there's forgiveness and all that stuff, but then here's the next phase, right? If you cheat, if you forgive somebody who cheat, make sure you really forgive them. Don't be doing that play forgiveness. Either do it or don't do it.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Make your mind up on the spot. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you communicate. Communicate, man. Every show we talk about, no matter what we're going to be talking about, communication is going to come into the forefront, because that's what this is how we relate to each other. All right, so we about to jump in, man. That was just the opener. We're about to go into things people do to ruin a relationship. Let's jump into our first topic.
Let's go.
First topic we want to jump into is a lot of people stop expressing their feelings sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's the beginning of the end. Mel talked about an avalanche. Yeah, man. What's happening? You got this little baby snowball on the top of the mountain, and somebody just come push it along, and that thing's gonna start building momentum. You will create an avalanche if you stop expressing your feelings. I'm coming back to you, Chance. Talk to me, baby. If you're in a situation that people stop expressing their feelings, what it do?
Okay, I could definitely relate to this. Now, I'm not into astrology signs and all of that. I believe we all are whoever we are, but I'm an Aquarius. So I'm very much one that likes to express whatever's on my mind. I see some shock up there. But, okay, all right, let me get through this. Oh no, I'm very much a talker and a communicator. I believe it's the very essence and foundation of any relationship. You know, that communication thing, it has to exist. And even in my own marriage, that was one of the obstacles that we went through, because I was a communicator, but my wife isn't. So I would communicate the things that I felt that maybe I would like to see her do differently. And not just for my sake, but because we're now one, for the sake of our relationship as a whole. Her being the type of person she was, she kind of struggled with the criticism. It didn't matter whether it was constructive or not. It was just, in her mind, offensive. So it got to the point where after trying several times doing that and kind of failing, it kind of made me shut down. Mm-hmm. So now where there was one-sided communication, now there was no communication at all, because I didn't really know how to address her without potentially hurting her feelings. So yeah, this communication thing is of very much importance, and it's something that I think a lot of times people take for granted, you know, and it's something that definitely cannot be taken for granted, because it is such a major foundation of what a relationship is.
Yeah, Chance, listen, man, I'm coming back to you, man. So think about this, because I know there's somebody that's probably going through that situation right now. What I'm going to ask you when I come back to you is how you weathered that storm, because I know that was a rocky road, brother. Yes. I've been through that one too, so I know the situation in that one. AP, what you got on me for this one? People stop expressing their feelings.
Okay, so I'm going to go raw, because you know how I am. I'm going to take it from my experience. I can't tell you what the psychology books say, because that's just a bunch of BS. But when I first was with my ex-husband, y'all just, you know, if you can handle the truth. Our first intimate encounter, he shut me down because he's so spiritual. He didn't want me to cuss or do anything that you do when you're having an intimate moment. So a lot of times communication gets shut down in intimacy or in a very heightened emotional place. So because of that, because he was controlling and a gaslighter, I completely shut my feelings down, and I never was honest about a lot of things that I felt about the relationship. Went into the marriage always shortchanging my feelings, because I always felt like I got shut down even in an intimate moment. So how am I going to be real about this whole situation whenever I feel like I need to speak my mind? So that to me is a big caution mark for those that are beginning relationships or currently in marriages. Don't shut a person down even in a moment of intimacy, because they are being expressive. And if you can't allow someone to be fully expressive, even in a moment of passion, then you're going to have a fraud the whole time of your relationship. They're not going to be real with you from the gate. 18 years, I was not real.
Yeah, listen.
I know what it means to not express your feelings.
That's
so bus stop, Get off the bus and keep it moving if you can't be real.
Danielle, what you got for us on this one?
I mean, I'm still in shock that Mr. Aquarius expresses his feelings. I'm still trying to process that. Because I am into the signs, and I would always say I wouldn't date Aquarius guys because I'm a Virgo and we are very expressive, but the Aquariuses weren't. So maybe your wife might be a Scorpio. I don't know.
You know what? I don't even know what times the signs are. All I know is her birthday's on September 7th. So I can't tell you.
Virgo. Oh, wow. Awesome. Anyway, yeah. Expressing feelings. That's so important.
Let me interrupt you, Danielle, just for a second. I just want to let you know I'm an Aquarius. And I don't like to express my feelings at all. So just want to let y'all know. So we got the whole dynamic.
See, but that's my point, and that's why I don't really go by the astrology things, because people are people. You're not going to be who you are based on what your sign is. You are who you are.
Exactly.
Based on your experiences.
My bad. Go ahead, Danielle.
It's true. So no, expressing feelings. It's so important, but it's so important, but at the same time, there's a lot of games to be played with that at the beginning, because I can only speak as a woman, a single woman. I do date. And sometimes if you express too much too soon, then men can get scared away. You know what I mean? Or you're giving them too much information and then they try to become that person just so they could try to get with you.
Right.
Get in your pants, just being very real. You know what I mean? You kind of get a representative. But when you're definitely when you're in a serious, committed, long-term marriage, expressing your feelings is very important, because although there may be some mind readers in the world, most people can't read your mind. And so it is very important to express your feelings. If something makes you happy, let your man, let your woman know you're happy, because the person that you're in a relationship with, they want to please you. They want to make you happy. If they've upset you, let them know that too, so they can know how to fix it or, not repeat it, again. So expressing your feelings is extremely important in a relationship. And if you don't, it could definitely be the demise of your relationship.
Mel Money, things people do to ruin a relationship. Talk to me on this one.
Well, I'm going to piggyback on what the lovely Danielle stated. Yes. Stop expressing your feelings is pretty much related to passionate love. And I know social psychologist Dr. Jonathan Haidt mentioned the two different types of love. You got your passionate love at the very beginning, and the time span usually is about 2 years and a few months, and then it fades out. And then you have your compassionate love, where it's like vines intertwining, and you're slowly just growing with your partner for the years to come. And passionate love is related to lust. It is related to spark chasing, because at that time you're expressing yourself to that fullest height. And normally it's like 4 types of love. You have your love, you have your like, you have your self-love, and you have your lust. And lust is the lowest form of love, because like I stated, it fades away. Yeah. But some of those things that I mentioned with the spark chasing, you get that at the very beginning, and spark chasing can be related to attractive traits like muscles, beards, curvy body, everything like that. And then once it's gone, then the passion dies. So I usually tell people that, you got to continue to be that caregiver when it comes to the relationship. So that way it can continue to elevate the relationship to the next level.
Boom, right there, y'all. So check it out, man. This show, if you haven't heard, probably about a half hour ago, we heard that Kobe Bryant passed away in a helicopter accident. So we're going to go on break. We're going to take another 10 seconds to give a moment of silence to Kobe. And when we come back, we'll continue discussing things people do to ruin a relationship. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation where you flow your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together. If you would like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
Say thank you to my big brothers, Mel and Mo, for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women.
What's up, my people? We back in the studio. The DBDS brothers back in the studio. We got my man Chance, we got AP, and we got Danielle in the house. And we talking about things people do to ruin a relationship. There's a lot of topics. There's no way we're getting through them all, but we're doing our best. So we're gonna go on to the next one. Hey, hold up, Mel Money. Any responses on social media?
Listen, man, I just want to give a shout out. Anissa said, hey. You know, Lisa Anderson said, good afternoon. I want to give a shout out to Diva, Shamika, right? You know, Erica, Ricky, Risa, Steven, Arlette, Ahmad, Alicia, Maria, Melissa. The list goes on and on. So we're going to continue to give shout outs and read your comments throughout the show. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, y'all. So we're going to continue the show here. We're going to go on to our next topic. Next topic's a tricky one right here. This is probably more... I'm going to guess it's probably more slanted towards women, but we'll find out when we get onto our discussion, and it's nitpicking. Don't be nitpicky, man. Don't always be on somebody's back asking questions. You know, what you're doing here, what you're doing there, when you're going to get it done, where, why. But this is tricky. We're going to talk about it during the discussion. I'm coming to you, AP. What you think about this here nitpicking?
Nitpicking, boy.
Keep it 100 now.
I've been playing both sides, so I can't even lie about that. I could be both bad and good in both areas. But yeah, there's times where I was nitpicking because, you know, there was things that was not being heard, you know, because it was going over this person's head because it was always about themselves. But then there's times that you call, we don't want to say the bad word, but you know, you bees notching the whole time because you just want to be a bee. But at the same time, you got to be careful when someone's nitpicking. At least be vigilant and cautious to at least hear what's going on behind the nitpicking to see if there's something real there that needs to be, you know, given attention to.
Absolutely. Danielle, what you got to say on this one? Yeah. Nitpicking.
I used to be a nitpicker. I used to be a big nitpicker, and I know that men hate nitpicking. I know it. And I agree with the lady said, you know, there's a reason why nitpicking is happening. But I think what women can do to help themselves and, you know, be heard and not drive the man crazy is to just come right out and say what's bothering them instead of just saying, you do this, you do that. I hate this, I hate that. Instead, women say, you know what? I feel when you do this or when you say that, it makes me feel this kind of way. Or it really hurt my feelings when you did this or you said that. Or instead of just saying, yeah, when you said this and you said that and you never, don't be like that. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to feel like they're being picked on. So just, you know, be an adult and just say, honey, when you did this the other day, it made me feel this way. I didn't like it, or whatever the problem may be, and you'll get a totally different response. So that's my take on nitpicking.
If you didn't catch it, Danielle was using the classic I statements, right? She told you how she felt. If that gets it done, I'm gonna let y'all know. But I ain't taking up no more airtime. I'm coming to my man Chance, nitpicking Chance. What's up?
Look, I'm gonna say it like this. Please forgive me, ladies, but if I was a biologist, I'm sure I'd be able to break down and look at certain genes that y'all have, and y'all would probably have a nitpicking gene. I'm just saying because y'all master that. Y'all know y'all do it. And then I think one of the issues that I have with it is more times than most, or more times than what it should be, it's intentional. And that's the one thing that kind of it bewilders me. Why would you intentionally do something that you know is going to agitate your partner? You know, me being in this long-term relationship that I've been in, you know, my whole focus is trying to go outside of myself, because I think one of the problems that people have when it comes to relationships is they still make it about them.
That's right.
And if that's the case, what the hell are you doing in a relationship? You know, you've already failed. You've not only failed yourself, but you failed the person that you're dealing with.
Preach.
If you can't step outside of yourself and say to yourself, I'm going to make this relationship about my significant other, without sidestepping yourself. Naturally, of course, there's going to be those things about you that's there. But if you're not making it more about them than you've already failed. But as far as this nitpicking, man, let me tell you, I've been through it. Still going through it. You know, my wife is a master. I mean, she could start her own class. You know, I'm sure. But it's one of those things where, you know, you just have to the best of your ability, and there's only so much you can do. With any situation, I try to sit back. I take myself out of the situation and try to look at it from an outside perspective and ask myself, what is it that I can do to better this specific situation? And I do that in all aspects of my relationship. I always take myself out of the equation and try to look at it from a neutral perspective, I guess. And the truth be told, from what I've learned, the best you can do is just try to the best of your ability to communicate to the person that you're with, hey, that ain't it. This ain't gonna work with us. And sometimes, unfortunately, it has to come to a point where it's a make or break point.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what I've learned, and I can't say this is with everybody, but with my relationship, it would come to that make or break point before it got noticed.
Right.
You know, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, being that it's make or break, okay, now I'll try to do what I have to do.
That's right.
Yeah, no doubt.
We adults now. I mean, come on, we should know better. But hey, I deal with it with my wife. I love her to death, and you know what? I'm gonna continue dealing with it until I can.
No doubt, I'm with you.
Oh yeah,
no doubt. Oh, Mel Money, I got a question for you, man.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I asked you to take the trash out. I asked you to change the oil in the car. I asked you to wash the cars. Why the hell is it not done, man? You know what I'm saying? Nitpicking. What you got to say about this nitpicking?
Listen, people fail to forget that no one is perfect. I mean, just imagine coming home to someone, as you just thoroughly explained, Mo, with that way of thinking, and that would be chaotic dealing with someone looking for small or unimportant errors or faults on every little thing you do. Maybe you need to work on the communication error instead of coming home like a tyrant or a dictator demanding things, because that's not love at all. That's a tyrant. You know what I'm saying? And for those that realize why they stay in these relationships, a lot of it has to do with that emotional tie, that those feelings that you do get when you have these toxic sexual relationships that can tie it in and keep people in these dysfunctional relationships for a very long time. And people don't realize that. And keep in mind that it's bad enough to be criticized by the world, which usually drains your battery.
Come on.
And to come home to someone that nitpicks you, that drains it even more, man, you might as well just bail out of the situation. That's my take on it.
Yeah, man, it's a tough one. So look, when I started this this here topic, nitpicking. I said it was a tough situation. I'm gonna tell you why I think it's a tough situation. I think it's a double-edged sword because the way I think about it is like this. There's a source and a reason why people nitpick, right? So we got to figure that out. Why are you nitpicking? How do you get to the nitpick stage, right? You get to the nitpick stage because you asked me goddamn 12 times to do something and I ain't do it. That's how you get to nitpicking, right? You asked me 12 times, I didn't do it, right? And the other thing I didn't do was I didn't communicate to you, listen, I'm not doing it. Or I'll do it on Tuesday the 5th at 2:36 a.m. Leave me the hell alone. You know what I mean? So there's a source on this nitpicking thing, right? But then you got the other side. If I did tell you that and you continue to ask me, you need to leave me alone, man. I need peace in my house, in my life, to myself. It's a tough situation with nitpicking. Mel Money, you got something you want to add?
But here's the thing that I'm going to play devil advocate on. The thing is how you ask that person. If you coming home and you say, take the damn trash out.
That's right.
I'm not going to take the trash out straight up. I don't care. Whatever, because to me, what's more important than sex is respect. That should be the top of the pillar in every relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is that this is where a woman should be in her natural feminine essence and continue to get those words of affirmation, as Gary Chapman stated in his book 5 Languages of Love. He'll have to come at that person to state like, hey baby, I just love the fact, I appreciate you going out there to Chili's and getting that food. I appreciate you doing this. You just gotta communicate that to your partner, and you give them that added fuel in order for your partner to be like, wow, she appreciate me. I'm gonna go the extra mile, do everything else for her.
That's
but
right.
If you're coming home and saying like, take out the goddamn trash, I'll slap you. Listen, the trash not going to be taken out.
Yeah, you got a valid point.
Listen, I think some of our panel want to chime in on this. I just want to say one thing. Listen, if you just show me some respect and kindness, man, I'll do anything. It's all good. You women out there don't know your power, man. Y'all power. If you come to me dripping with honey, trust me, man, you get me do anything, man. Listen, it's 2:30 in the morning. I need to go get a bucket of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Okay, let's go, baby. I'll do this for you. I'm good. Just bring it to me the right way, like Mel said. Yeah. All right, y'all, on the panel, anybody else got anything they want to say? I'm gonna go around the horn. Go ahead, Chance. What you got? You want to add to that before we move on?
My thing is, it's all about positive communication, and finding out what that is to your mate. It's different things to different people. My wife and I, we have a tendency, we start off our day, like we both get up around 4:30, we're both out the door by 5:30. So the first things that we do, hey babe, have a great day, sending each other little love texts. That's right. And everything. And it just sets the right proper tone that you need to have for the rest of the day. When you start off on a positive note, there's a greater likelihood that you're going to end off with that positive note.
Yeah.
Message, people, message. Make sure you heard that one. AP, what you want to add to this?
For me, I just feel like, I'm very compliant. I'm very submissive. The moment I start nitpicking is because there's something lacking that I'm giving that's not being in return. So reciprocation is key. If you don't get what you're giving out, that part is going to cause you to sound like a nitpicker. But you're really just looking for something in return that you're overindulging in as a person in that relationship, and maybe sometimes you need to pull back and not give so much. But in my natural nature, I'm not going to stop being me because somebody don't want to be who they need to be in return. So it's a decision whether you want to walk away because a person is settled in their own way of being the way they want to be, and they don't want to return the favor. So maybe you just need to step away and leave the situation alone, or consider just dealing with it and don't complain.
No doubt. All right, we had lost Danielle, but guess what? She found her way back. She found her way back to the DBDS Live. So Danielle, we were just finishing up this nitpicking conversation. You got any last comments before we move on?
Yes, I do. I'm totally with Mel. It's all in how presentation is everything. Presentation is everything. I believe you can tell a person to jump off a bridge if you just put it in a pretty little package with a bow on it. You know, it's all in how you ask a person. No one wants to be told what to do and yelled at and screamed at and threatened. So, you know, if you make it nice and pretty and you say, honey, you know what? I know you're so busy and I love that, you know, you're able to balance work and me and all this stuff. And I know how hard it is for you to keep up with these shorts and I really appreciate it. But what you're really trying to say is I really do need you to cut that line because it's looking kind of ratchet out there. And he'll do it. So it's all in presentation of your words. So
no doubt. All right, y'all. We're gonna take a little quick break. Again, we dedicating this show to Kobe Bryant, so we're gonna give a moment of silence. We're gonna do a few promos, and we'll be right back in just about a minute.
If you would like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
Say thank you to my big brothers, Mel and Mo, for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women.
What's up, y'all? Back in the DBDS live studio. We're here with Danielle, Chance, and AP. We've been tearing it up, man. We're talking about things people do to ruin a relationship. We got too much material. We're not going to get through it all. But first, we're going to do a social media check. Mel Money, what you got?
Yes, so I want to give a shout out to my man Craig. He's watching. He said, I agree. And he said 100. Shout out to Tanisha Clark that just checked in. Shout out to Kara Coleman. And the list goes on and on. Shout out to Diva. So I'm going to continue to give those shout outs and thank you for tuning in, my people.
Yes, no doubt. Listen, we're going to continue the show on. Next topic. I don't even got to give an intro to this thing.
uh-oh.
Threatening each other. I'm gonna get you. Threatening each other, man. You know, listen, that how can that ruin your relationship in so many ways? I'm gonna start with you, Mel Money. Threatening each other, man. What you got to say?
Well, threaten each other, man. Part of the 4 traditional communication styles, this one right here is related to aggressive communication. Is when individuals express their feelings and opinions in a way that violates the rights of others. And when individuals, I feel like, display that low emotional intelligence, it can become very dangerous because usually the more the conversation becomes ratchet, the more it will increase a person's thought process to go into the physical portion, which can be very deadly for anyone. So, you know, some of these signs related to, I'll say, aggressive communication, it's like those you statements, like you did this, you do that, you know, and they about to go into attack mode. And, you know, usually at DBDS University, I break down the snowball effect, which is categorized into those 3 disrespectful levels. And the first one is the subtle disrespect, which is very combative and someone may suck their teeth at you. And then the second level is called the blatant disrespect. And that's when someone calls you stupid or try to embarrass you in front of your family members or anyone for that matter. And the last one is called the uncontrollable disrespect. And that's when somebody may give you a 2-piece, pop, pop. And, you know, you may get a busted lip. You may, you know, infidelity is at this stage. And once you get to that 3rd disrespectful level, there's usually no turning back at all. You know, that's when someone is like, hey, you didn't stop me from the beginning. You never checked me. So that way you're enabling my behavior to continue to treat you like a second-class citizen. Yeah. So I just tell my people out there, just be mindful of those signs, which can have a very impact on your relationship as well as your mental health in that regards.
Yeah.
No doubt. Listen, we know what happens. You know, men do it, women do it. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't. It's not a good thing. Chance, help me out, man. Threatening each other.
Look, that threat thing is real, and I don't put anything past anyone. Granted that I happen to be an avid lover of watching the ID channel. So I've done seen wives with knives and stuff like that. And I've been through the situation myself. Like, I've been confronted with the threat. You know, I was coming out my mouth sideways about one of my wife's family members. And the next thing I know, she's standing there with the butcher knife.
Oh.
And, well, I could tell you this much. For me, it was a phone call and a plane ticket back home. I bounced because I don't take any threat by anybody, male, female, or other. I don't take it idly. I'm not just going to sit there and wait to see what's next. No. I love me a little bit too much.
Okay.
I will leave you first before I allow a threat to go to the next level.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt, my man. I really appreciate that. All right, AP, what you got to say about this threatening? Man, you know.
Well, everything Mel said, I've experienced. You know, I tried to talk it out. I tried to do the accusation thing. I tried to get in the brother's face. It just doesn't work. None of them work. I ended up in a physically abusive situation multiple times because I knew about him cheating. And every time I brought up a female, that would give him a rise. And so his threat was to just put his hands and try to strangle and kill me. So when it happened in front of my children, that's when I just clammed up and I just said, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing anymore. I don't want my children to be traumatized any longer. Ladies and gentlemen who are out there, if you threaten by physical behavior, you need to leave the situation because right there, you lost all respect for that person when you put your hands on them. And that person that's being inflicted that pain has lost all respect for that person as well, because they can't never trust them. When trust is broken, you know, threatening behavior don't mean nothing. You just completely shut that person down. And I stuck around for quite some time before I decided to step away from the situation. But yes, I mean, unfortunately, every female that I was having conversations about or arguments about, I was 1000% accurate. And I didn't find out until about 5 months ago, after 18 years, that I was accurately correct. You know, some people were very, very dear and close to me that he put his hands on me about, and turn around and you admit it later, that makes the whole threat even worse. So if you're out there dealing with that kind of situation, if you feel like someone's being infidelis, then trust your instincts. And I hate to keep saying this throughout the whole show, but you got to step back and step away, especially when there's children involved, because to be threatened is not even worth the time or the battle to even deal with the relationship.
No doubt. Danielle, we in a relationship, man. We threatening each other. What it is, what it do?
I'm with the lady 1000%. I've been in that exact same place where she's been. I've been in physical abusive relationships, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. And it's, you know, it's right. You know, most of the time if you're in a relationship with a guy and he is cheating and you find out and you call him out on it, he becomes offensive and put his hands on and do the most. And, you know, I was terrified for my life. I was actually thinking back on a night where, you know, and I was in my 20s, where this man was out cheating and came to my house because I told him, I'm done. Go stay with her. Like, go make her life miserable. Leave me alone. You have the green light. And because I was done, this man came to my house. And at the time I was living in Pittsburgh, and it's literally 2-3 feet of snow outside. I'm in my bed, sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was so terrified of this man. I ran out of my house in like 25-degree weather in a t-shirt to my mom's house.
My gosh.
Because this man said, I'm on my way there and you better open the door. And so all of that threatening, and, you know, I'm with the mister, you know, in regards, I'm not going to stick around and wait to see what's next. Like, I'm out, like, I already know how that goes. So threatening and all that, I'm not an abuser. I will not be on the receiving or the giving end of that. That's a no.
No doubt. No doubt. Wow. Now listen, I got to make a correction, because I think in the stories I heard from the two ladies, I heard they were talking about a man. But if he threatened you like that and he put his hands on you, wasn't dealing with a man. 3 dudes on this panel right here, the 3 dudes on the panel right here, these are men.
Hey,
that what you was dealing with boys, them are little
That's right.
boys.
No,
Them wasn't men.
totally
I just
agree.
want to
totally
clarify that. Okay,
100%
let's put that out there like it is.
That's right.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm only raising my hand to ask a question. That's
Go
it.
ahead, Chance.
No. I said if I'm raising my hand, it's just to ask a question. I
Oh
don't
man,
raise my
no
hand
doubt,
to go
no
That's
doubt,
it,
no
bro.
doubt.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no doubt. All right, y'all. We're gonna keep the show going. The next topic we're gonna talk about is okay. So you got this situation right now. You're trying to figure it out between you and your partner, and you know what? He decided, we can just figure this out. We're gonna work it out through text. We're gonna work it out through text. we can work this out through text. Don't worry about that. We got this. Don't worry about it. So
Nah, bro. Nah.
Not happening.
All right, we can do this. Come on, we can do this, man. I got quick Twitter fingers, man. We good. Don't worry about it. All right, so we go to we go to Danielle. If I get her stop laughing, okay, Danielle, we got to work this subject out, man. We're gonna do it by text. What's the deal?
First of all, I don't even play that. I do not even play that. I don't even like texting that much. And especially once you hit me with more than like a couple sentences, I'm like, you know what? Call me, because I can't. Like, that's all I can say. I can't, and after a while, if you just want to keep texting me, then I'm just going to shut down and I'm just going to stop responding. And I'm like, listen, when you have time to call me and we can talk about this on the phone or face to face, then you do that. Until then, we're not having this conversation, because I don't have Twitter fingers, and there's so much lost in translation and things taken out of context when you're texting. The only time I text is if I'm super busy. I'm a flight attendant. So if my plane is getting ready to take off, I'm going to say, hey, taking off, call you when I land. I'm not getting ready to have a full-blown fight or discussion via text.
No doubt. Oh man, my man Chance, man, we can't work this out, Chance, over the phone, man. We can't do that.
How about a tails to the no? Look, I'm trying to tell you, like, everybody, my sister Danielle, she done hit the nail on the head. Things will get taken out of context.
Yes, there will.
I promise you, everybody on this panel done texted something to someone that was somehow misinterpreted, and you're looking at it like, how the hell did they get that out of what I just I don't understand. Look. Texting is good. Like I said, me and my wife at the beginning of the day, hey, honey, have a wonderful day. I love you. Outside of that, if you're going any further than that, if it can't be a face-to-face or at least a phone call, at the very least, a phone call. And if it's that serious, I feel it needs to even be more than that. But yeah, if we can't have that, texting, I'm just that's a no for me.
AP, I like the child in the car, but I got her out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna text that to you real quick. We good? We good or what?
Hell no. I'm Puerto Rican, so you don't be spicy. I'm gonna text you a whole bunch of garbage. I'm sorry. I fall right into both of y'all agreements. I will be the one to text quick. Especially when you're dealing with somebody that you're not in a relationship with, but the only time you see them is when it's that time, if you know what I'm saying. And in between the week, you text it like, hey, boo, how you doing? I hope you're there. I'm thinking about you. I hope you're good. No answer until a week and a half later when they're ready to get their little freak on again. That's insulting to me. So I'm going to go off on text because they won't call you. So, that's just where I'm at as a single woman at 48. I just feel like, I don't have time. And most of the people I know are out of state. So the one that I do know in state, a couple of them, I expect to see you face to face. Why I got to be texting you all the time? Can't you answer the damn phone? Come on, let's be real. Come on. So that's what I'm dealing with at this late age. I think it's very childish and immature that a person can't pick up a phone. And if I respond your text, hey, call, listen to my voice. I want to hear your voice. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we talk like human beings? Right. Why we gotta have a phone in between us? I can't get with that. So if you don't answer me, I don't like rejection already. So I'm gonna blow out at you on a text, even though you don't respond. I'm just gonna try to get it out of my head. If I don't get it out of my head, I'm no good. I'm just being real.
No doubt, no doubt. Mel Money, look at Mel Money. Listen, I studied texting. I'm an expert at this, man. I don't need to call you or nothing, bro. I got it down, right? I can communicate, no misinterpretation. What's up, man?
I agree with everybody. I agree with Chance, AP, and Danielle. You cannot build an emotional connection through digital devices. I mean, smartphones, apps, and social media platforms are good to reach out to multiple people and to network, but I think it eliminates our natural senses to engage with that particular person. And, you know, I would say before this technology blew up, you would have to make yourself presentable. You had to be capable of holding a decent verbal conversation. And you also had to be able to, I'll say, communicate non-verbally with your voice inflections, your emotions, your body language, which provided a better way to understand the topic at hand. But in today's age, most of our brothers and sisters don't know how to communicate with each other. And right now, I kind of call this like the lost art of talking, because a lot of people just don't know how to carry a decent conversation. I mean, they'll say WYD on a text.
Exactly. Can I insert? This is crazy.
WYD.
Wow. No doubt. What you doing?
Can I insert a little bit here? This right here is so near and dear to my heart. Because 95% of my friends are out of state. I don't want an emoji response. I don't want, I don't want a FaceTime conversation or a video chat. Like, fly out here if you want to talk to me. I don't got no time for you if you're out of state and you playing these games. I love you. I want to be with you and all this bull crap. It's just game. And, when you live like 3 or 4 miles away from me and I get like no response or no text return, like then you getting mad if I don't answer your call when you ready. Come on, man. You don't answer your text when you ready. I've been ready. When are you gonna wake the heck up? This generation sucks because they think that what they see these thoughts do on social media is what they're gonna get in over a text or an encounter once they get to you. And it's just so played out. It's very played out. I'm sick of it.
Listen. Hey.
Yes,
hey, brother. Listen, there's a brother out there that was specially packaged for. If you didn't get the message, she specially packaged that for you. All right, you know what I'm saying? So if you're watching the show,
don't talk about sex.
That's for you.
Don't talk about feelings.
That's for you.
Sex. When you know that you got feelings invested when you do have sex with a woman. There's real feelings invested.
Oh man, I gotta take a drink.
You know who you are. You have to take a drink on that one, boy.
Can I get another one bartender to choose?
All right, y'all. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a social media check, then we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna do our Jerry Springer moment with our final words. Everybody have your summary ready. Mel Money, any social media check before we go to break?
Yeah, shout out to Real Pretty, De Niro, Ricky, Devana, Elgin. A lot of check-ins. Thank you for tuning in. And again, our condolences and prayers goes out to Obi Ryan and his family. So
yes.
All right, another moment of silence. We're gonna go to a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together. If you would like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
Say thank you to my big brothers, Mel and Mo, for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
Are you single? Do you know about DBDSsingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women.
What up, DBDS? We back in the studio with my man Chance. We got AP, Danielle, and my DBDS partner Mel Money. So listen, this is our final wrap up right here. We about to go around the horn. We want to get everybody's final words. We're gonna do our Jared Springer moment. We'll start off with our guests. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody, and we're gonna start off with Miss Danielle. Miss Danielle, you got some words, final words you want to say to the DBDS people and everybody else watching?
Yes, well, thank you for having me on this show. I'm going to try out dbdssingles.com too myself, because I mean, I'm a single lady, so I'm going to see what's out there. But I've so enjoyed this so much. To all my single ladies and my single men, there are great, classy women out there that still have morals and values. So I want to see the old days come back. Mel and I were talking last week, off the the airwaves about the days where women and men really communicated well, and men really had a genuine respect for women and wanted to provide and protect and nurture and really treat that woman like a queen. And I really want to see that. So I'm putting that back out in the universe. So I hope that everybody enjoyed this as much as I did. Ladies, keep your head up, keep your standards high, no matter what. Do not settle, know your worth, and, just love yourself. Love yourself, and everything else will come to you. Stay positive.
AP, final words to the viewers.
Well, if you're having issues expressing your feelings, nitpicking, threatening each other, and misinterpreting text messages, then there's an issue with you not being true to yourself. So if you're true to yourself, you won't be struggling with any of these topics. You'll be able to save yourself a lot of heartache and a lot of pain in relationships, knowing when to step away when it's time to step away. If someone is menacing you, or you're nitpicking because you're not getting the proper attention, or because you're looking for attention, that's a red flag for your own self. You need to wake up and realize that you're not living in your own truth, and that person you're with might be the truth, and you're not seeing it because you're stuck in your own ways, or vice versa. So I say, just like Danielle said, be real, be true, love yourself. Be comfortable with you before you try to get comfortable with somebody while you're uncomfortable with yourself. A learning lesson for me. So, which is why I stay solo, because I'm still trying to get AP right. So get yourself right before you move into any of the phases of these questions that we propose today. And I guarantee you, at the end of that dark tunnel, there'll be light, and you'll feel good about yourself. Love y'all.
Brother Chance, final words.
Yeah, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I respect definitely what the ladies are saying about love yourself. But from what I see, at least from the people that I have on my social network platforms, I think there's a little bit too much self-love going on. And let me explain. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself, first and foremost. Let me make that statement. But I think one of the biggest problems, especially with men and women of color, we're not loving each other enough. So what I would say is, relationship-wise, if you're already in a relationship and you think that something may not be going the way that it is, like I said earlier, step outside of it and be honest with you. Are you doing everything that you can do to make that relationship the best that it can be? Because we're living in a generation and a time where most of us are just pointing fingers at the other individual. But are you truly being honest with yourself? So I would say do that. And if you're doing that, and for whatever reasons you're still coming up, short, get rid of the bum.
That's it.
Really?
Now, man, Mel Money. What you got to say, Mel Money?
Well, first, I just want to thank this amazing, insightful panel. AP, Danielle, Chance, you guys are amazing. Thank you for coming onto the show and sharing your viewpoints and the wisdom to our viewers.
Thank you.
I just want to finish off, and I just want to say one person cannot save a relationship. It takes two.
Mm-hmm.
And if one is refusing to hit that tennis love ball across the net, this is time to reevaluate and re-educate yourself on relationship dynamics. And there's no such thing as a waste of time in relationships. Only lessons as long as you're willing to learn and grow from them.
Come on.
And you have to learn to become a better version of yourself. So that way you can attract a better version of the opposite sex.
No doubt. Now listen.
Thank you, Mel.
I do my final words again. Let me thank the whole panel. You guys were amazing. You know, every show I say this, every show, and I mean it. I always learn something every show just from the comments of our special guests, and I really appreciate it. What I'm going to say is this. What we do on this show is we share. This is what I call an information share pool. We share information. So guess what? Maybe we didn't all agree, but we didn't have to because you don't need us to do that. What you need us to do is you watch the show and you take the parts that are going to benefit you. Yeah. So if you saw something today that's going to benefit you, you take that, you utilize it, you implement it. All right. So that's what DBDS does. That's what we're going to bring to you every single time. Mel Money, send us off.
I love you guys.